Hello everyone, this is me Twinkle and I welcome you back to the discussion of the questions of the week wherein we are discussing certain important questions of current importance keeping in mind the upcoming Prelims 2022. I hope you guys are doing great and you guys are having a good experience learning with us. Do let us know how do you feel about the same. Let us start with question number 1 here. Question number 1 says that with reference to Vaquita porpoise, consider the following statements. Okay, so basically we're discussing about Vaquita porpoise. We'll discover what it is exactly and why this has been in news recently. So first statement says that it is the world's smallest cetacean and the most endangered marine mammal. Second says it only lives in Mexico's upper Gulf of California. The third statement says that it has been listed under the International Union for Conservation of Nature red list as vulnerable. Okay, so we need to figure out which of the statements here are correct. Firstly, let us understand that what is the context of this particular question. So, knowing about the context, we understand that according to the United States Commission for Environmental Cooperation, Vaquita porpoise is nearing extinction. Okay, so according to whom? The CEC. Okay, United Nations Commission for Environmental Cooperation, that is CEC. Vaquita porpoise is nearing extinction and immediate measures are needed to save the remaining population, and that is why this has been in news and a matter of concern. Let us know something more about Vaquita porpoise. So firstly, understand that Vaquita porpoise is more or less like dolphin, but they are comparatively smaller. Okay, and also we understand that Vaquita porpoise is world's smallest cetacean and the most endangered marine mammal. Okay, the most endangered marine mammal, and it has the smallest range of any whale, dolphin or porpoise and only lives in a small 1500 square mile area in Mexico's upper Gulf of California near the town of San Felipe. Okay. Second, we understand that it has a rounded head and black patches around its mouth and eyes. That is one of the characteristics that we're discussing about Vaquita porpoise. Now we understand the last point, that it has been listed under the International Union for Conservation of Nature red list as critically endangered. One thing you need to understand, it is not listed as vulnerable. Okay, those two things are different. In the question, it was mentioned as vulnerable, which is wrong. It is mentioned as critically endangered. So make sure that you're aware of the difference here. Okay, so let us go back to the question and understand the things and mark the correct answer. First statement it was mentioned that it is the world's smallest cetacean and the most endangered marine mammal. This is absolutely correct. Second says it only lives in Mexico's upper Gulf of California. This is also correct. The third statement here, please make a note of this. It has been listed under the International Union for Conservation of Nature red list as vulnerable. And like I told you, it is not listed as vulnerable. Rather, it is listed as critically endangered. Critically endangered, right? So make sure you make a note of this particular fact. So statement 3 turns out to be incorrect. So only 1 and 2 is the right answer. A becomes the correct option. 1 and 2 only is the correct statement here. I hope this is clear to you. Let's go ahead and discuss question number 2 here. So now if we start with question number 2 says that arrange the following countries surrounding the Black Sea in clockwise order. The countries are Ukraine, Georgia, Romania, Bulgaria, Turkey, Russia. Firstly, we need to understand the context of this particular question. So the context is related to the recent sinking of the warship, okay, that is Moskva, okay. The flagship of Russian Black Sea fleet is a serious setback for Russia, and that has been a matter of concern, and that is the reason it has prominently been in news, and that is the reason we are referring to this question here. I hope this is clear to you. Firstly, I think we should refer the map to understand the clockwise arrangement of the countries which surrounds the Black Sea. Now, please pay attention that if this is Black Sea here, we need to make the clockwise arrangement of the countries. So, number 1 is Ukraine, right? We move in the clockwise direction. Second is Russia. Third is Georgia, right? Third is Georgia here. Fourth is Turkey. Here. Then comes Bulgaria. Fifth, Bulgaria. Then sixth is Romania, right? So that is the sequence. Please pay attention. Ukraine, Russia, Georgia, Turkey, Bulgaria, Romania. That is the clockwise arrangement or the clockwise sequence of the countries surrounding the Black Sea. Okay, let us go to the question and choose the correct code as the answer, right? So now if we want to check the correct code as per the clockwise arrangement of the countries surrounding Black Sea, we need to mark the correct code here. So we saw that it started with Ukraine, and as we were moving in the clockwise direction, number 1 was Ukraine, then came Russia in the clockwise arrangement. Okay, after Russia it was Georgia, after Georgia it was Turkey, right? And after Turkey it was Bulgaria, right? And after Bulgaria it was Romania. Okay, so this is the sequence. So the sequence was Ukraine, Russia, Georgia, Turkey, Bulgaria, Romania. Okay, so let us decide the correct code here. Number 1 was 1 only, right? That is, number 1 was Ukraine. Second was option 6. Okay, so second pay in the clockwise direction was option 6, that is Russia. Then third pay was Georgia, that is the second option given. And fourth pay was Turkey, that is the fifth option given, right? And then fifth pay was Bulgaria, that is the fourth option according to the question. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And sixth pay was option number 3, that is Romania. That is 3. So 1, 6, 2, 5, 4, 3. Okay. I'll write it down for your understanding. Ukraine. Number 6 was Russia. Okay. Number 2 is Georgia. Okay. Then fifth is Turkey. Okay. Fourth is Bulgaria. Right. And the third one is Romania. Right? I hope this is clear to you. So the clockwise arrangement is Ukraine, Russia, Georgia, Turkey, Bulgaria, Romania. That is 1, 6, 2, 5, 4, 3. And this is the correct answer, 1, 6, 2, 5, 4, 3. That is option C is the right answer. All right. That's all. We'll go ahead with question number 3 now. Yeah, so now please take a look on question number 3 here. Question number 3 says, which of the following are beneficiaries of Integrated Child Development Services, ICDS, okay? That is Integrated Child Development Services. That is what we are discussing here. First says that the beneficiaries are children below 16 years, pregnant and lactating women are the beneficiaries, or women in the age group of 15 to 44 years, adults and girls in selected blocks. We need to select the correct answer using the code given below. Firstly, we'll understand the context of this particular question. It relates to the initiative that has been taken by the government of Maharashtra, right? You can take a look here. The Maharashtra government has developed a website-based migration tracking system, that is MTS, okay? Migration tracking system application to map the movement of vulnerable seasonal migrant workers through individual unique identity numbers, okay? So it's going to track the migration of the migrants, right? Now we'll understand something more about this particular ICDS. So it is going to help, okay, this application is going to help the ICDS initiative, okay, Integrated Child Development Services. So it will maintain the continuity. Even if the migration is taking place, it will be helping to maintain the continuity of this particular service which is being provided to the people and to the beneficiaries, right? So if we check here, it is actually assisting to maintain the continuity. The MTS system, that is the migration tracking system, is helping to maintain the continuity of Integrated Child Development Services, that is ICDS. Even if the migration is taking place, the continuity will not break and the beneficiaries will be benefited with this ICDS services, right? It was launched on 2nd October 1975 under the 5th five-year plan in pursuance of the National Policy for Children in 33 experimental blocks, okay? And now the goal is to universalize ICDS throughout the country, okay? So even if the migration is taking place, they want to continue this particular provision of ICDS, okay? And that is why this particular migration tracking system, that is MTS, has been developed. Now the beneficiaries. Who are the beneficiaries of ICDS? The beneficiaries are children below 6 years of age, pregnant and lactating women, women in the age group of 15 to 44 years, and adolescent girls in selected blocks. Okay, so these are the beneficiaries. Now, you need to understand that under whom is this particular initiative being done. So, the primary responsibility of implementation of this program is with whom? It is with the Department of Women and Child Development, Ministry of Human Resource Development at the center, and the nodal departments at the state, which may be social welfare also. Under rural development, this could be done, tribal welfare, health and family welfare, or women and child development. So, these all are the bodies who are responsible for implementing this program, right? I hope this is clear to you. So, we'll go back to the question and understand that who are the beneficiaries. So, that was the question all about. Okay, so who are the beneficiaries of ICDS? Children below 16 years of age. No, this is wrong. It is below 6 years of age, right? Pregnant and lactating women, this is correct. Women in the age group of 15 to 44 years, yes. Adolescent girls in selected blocks, yes. So, statement 1 is incorrect, rest 2, 3, 4 are correct. So, 2, 3 and 4, D is the correct answer. I hope this is clear to you. We'll go ahead with the next question now. Next question here. Yeah, so furthermore, if we take a look on question number 4 here, question number 4 says, which of the following are recommendations of the National Cyber Security Strategy of India? A minimum allocation of 5% of the annual budget has been recommended for cyber security. That's true or not, we'll check. The creation of cybersecurity services with cadres chosen from the Indian Engineering Service, whether that is recommended or not, we'll check that too. The setting up of exclusive codes to deal with cyber crimes. So, we need to select the correct answer using the codes given below. Whether these are the recommendations or not, we'll figure it out. Firstly, understand the context of this question. So, the context is also actually a matter of concern for the nation, because Indian organizations have witnessed 218% increase in the ransomware attacks in the year 2021. So, it is making India the 10th most targeted country globally. Okay, 10th most globally and second after Australia in the Asia Pacific region. Okay, so globally we rank 10th. And in the Asia Pacific region after Australia, we are on second position. But of course, that's not an achievement. That's a severe matter of concern, right? Let us check something more about this particular cyber security thing. So, amid a surge in cyber attacks on India's networks, Center is yet to implement the National Cyber Security Strategy, which has been in work since the year 2020. So, it's still in process. It's nowhere settled by now. So, the National Cyber Security Strategy was conceptualized by the DSCI, that is Data Security Council of India. Yeah, DSCI, like I told you. And to implement cybersecurity in the above listed focus areas, the report lists the following recommendations. Okay. So, it was conceptualized by DSCI, firstly note that, and the recommendations which were made, we need to note that as well. So, the minimum allocation of 0.2% of the annual budget, which can be raised up to 1%, has been recommended to be set aside for cyber security. Okay. So, they said that 0.25% was the allocation which can be increased to 1% now, and that could be dedicatedly kept for the purpose of assuring the cyber security, right? That has been the case. Yeah, so furthermore, we see that a national framework should be set in collaboration with the National Skill Development Corporation of India, NSDC, and ISEA, that is Information Security Education and Awareness, to provide global professional certification in security. Because of course, we know that if there are more professionals coming up, we can tackle this threat of cyber attacks, right? And next we see that DSCI further recommends that there could be a service that can be created in the name of cyber security services with cadres chosen from the Indian Engineering Services. Okay, because initiatives are to be taken, because ultimately they say that cyber diplomacy plays a huge role in shaping the global relation, India's global relation. Okay, and they also say that the report has also recommended that unburdening the judicial system by creating laws to resolve spamming and fake news. So, they have recommended that there should be certain laws to tackle with the issue of fake news, to tackle with the issue of spamming, etc. It also suggests charting a 5-year roadmap factoring possible technology transformation, setting up exclusive codes to deal with cyber crimes. Yeah, this is also one recommendation, that there should be special dedicated courts to deal with the issue of cybercrimes and removing backlog of cybercrimes by increasing centers providing opinion related to digital evidence under Section 79A of IT Act. Please make a note of this. Section 79A of IT Act, right? Let's get back to the question and check if we could catch hold of the right answer. So it says that, let us check whether it has recommended a minimum allocation of 5% of the annual budget. Okay, so it's not 5%, we know that, and that is why this statement is incorrect. The creation of a cyber security service with cadres chosen from Indian Engineering Service is recommended. Yes, this has been a good recommendation given by them. The next, the setting up of exclusive courts to deal with cyber crimes. Yes, they have recommended this too. Okay, so only statement 2 and 3 is correct. That is option B is the correct answer. I hope this is clear to you. So we'll now move ahead with question number 5 here. Question number 5 says, which of the following statements are correct regarding parboiled rice? Okay, so it is a new practice of cultivating rice recently adopted from Brazil. Second says it makes rice tougher and increases the nutrient value of the rice. Third says it is resistant to insects and fungi. Fourth says it requires less investment than a raw rice milling unit. We need to understand that which of the given statement is correct using the following codes. We'll understand the context of this question firstly. So the context is that the center has said it will stop the purchase of excess parboiled rice, of which Telangana is the major producer. Okay, Telangana is the major producer of this parboiled rice. Furthermore, we see that parboiling of rice is not a new practice and has been followed in India since ancient times. So there was a statement that said that we've adopted it from Brazil, which is absolutely wrong. We've been practicing it in India since ancient times, right? Now, there is no specific definition that is provided by the Food Ministry or the Food Corporation of India, okay, about this parboiled rice. But it means that the rice is partially cooked by boiling. So it's of course not a very specific definition, but somewhere or the other you can understand it by knowing that it is partially cooked by boiling. Now it refers to rice that has been partially boiled at the paddy stage before milling. Okay, so the rice is actually boiled at the paddy stage itself, but it is boiled before the milling. Okay, I hope you understand this. Next, we see that parboiling actually makes the rice tougher. Okay, it makes the rice tougher, and this reduces the chances of rice kernel breaking during milling. Okay, because it becomes tough, it doesn't usually break much during the milling process. Now, parboiling also increases the nutrient value of the rice, and boiled rice has a higher resistance to insects and fungi, and that is the reason it can be stored for a longer period. So, these are certain advantages basically that we've discussed. We'll get back to the question and figure out the right answer. The first one says it is a new practice of cultivating rice recently adopted from Brazil, which is wrong. It is the ancient Indian practice itself, right? It makes rice tougher and increases the nutrient value. This is correct. It is resistant to insects and fungi. This is correct. It requires less investment than a raw rice milling unit. This is wrong. Okay. It requires less investment. No, it requires high investment. Okay, keep that in mind. So only 2 and 3 are the right statement. B is the correct answer. Starting with question number 6 here, we see that it says consider the following statements. One is an environmental clearance is a long drawn process that is mandatory for projects beyond a certain size. So basically we're talking about this environmental, we are talking here about environmental clearance. Okay. Second says the process for clearance is outlined by environmental impact assessment notification of the year 2006. Which of the statements given above are correct? We need to understand that. Now, recently it was seen that the Union Environment Ministry has extended the tenure of environmental clearance, that is EC, granted for existing or new projects. Okay. So the tenure has been extended, and that is the current update about this particular topic. Now we understand more about this environmental clearance. So we know that environmental clearance is a long drawn process. Okay, it is a long drawn process that is mandatory for projects beyond a certain size. Yes, that is a fact about it. and often involves an environmental impact assessment of a potential project, and sometimes public hearings involved. Like if there is a major project that has been held or that is about to be initiated in a particular area, so there has been certain things or proceedings going on, and even sometimes public hearings is also involved, because if it is affecting the local population there, so definitely public hearings are also involved in it, and anyone who is affected by the project will be involved in it, and the hearings would be done. Okay, so basically in-depth assessment is done before the project is initiated and taken to the stage of execution. That is the thing. Now, the process for clearance is outlined by Environmental Impact Assessment, that is EIA, notifications of the year 2006. Okay, I hope this is clear to you about the Environmental Impact Assessment, that is EIA. Let us figure out the right answer here. The first statement says that an environmental clearance is a long drawn process that is mandatory for projects beyond a certain size. Yes, this is absolutely true, because you cannot just randomly go and have a industrial project or any construction, roads, buildings, or any highway randomly at any place, a mill or a factory randomly at any place. It requires a process, and of course one of the process to be done is doing the environmental assessment as well, right? Second says the processes for clearance is outlined by the Environmental Impact Assessment EIA notification of 2006. This is also correct. So 1 and 2 both are right. C is the right answer, right? Question 7 here says that recently seen in news, Kodava is related to an ethno-linguistic group in Karnataka, a festival celebrated in South India, a language in the Dravidian group, a group of land owning people during ancient period. Okay, so we'll figure out the right answer here. So what has happened is that recently a book of poems by a veteran, that is Kodagu poet, has brought the spotlight on Kodava, which is an endangered language. Okay, this is interesting. Remember this is an endangered language. So because of this veteran poet, a Kodagu poet, this has been in spotlight recently, and it has been considered as an endangered language here. Furthermore, if we check that Kodavu Takke is a language in the Dravidian group, okay, it's a language in the Dravidian group, and it is actually the original language of Kodagu district in the southern part of Karnataka state. Okay, UNESCO has classified the language as endangered language. Please make a note of this. Endangered language, that is Kodagu Takke. It has no separate script and is traditionally written using the Kannada script. Okay, it is written using the Kannada script, and according to the census of the year 2001, this language Kodava Takke is spoken by just 1,66,187 people. Okay, present currently. So it's a very handful of population that is aware of this language and who can speak this language and who know this language. So that is why it has been categorized by UNESCO and classified as an endangered language. I hope this is clear to you. Okay, so let us go and check which is the right answer regarding this particular question. So recently seen in the news, Kodava Takke is related to what? It is a language in the Dravidian group. Okay, so we already saw that, right? Thus C is the right answer. Proceeding with question number 8 here. Question number 8 says that which organization releases the Global Wind Report? So Global Wind Report is released by Global Wind Energy Council. We'll check that. Wind Energy Association, or International Renewable Energy Agency, or European Renewable Energy Council. So we'll check that who releases the Global Wind Report. But let us see why this has been in news prominently. Because recently what has happened that the Global Wind Report for the year 2020 was published by the Global Wind Energy Council. Of course, the answer is clear right in the context of the question. The report was released and published by whom? The Global Wind Energy Council. So if we see that as per the report, the new offshore installation in the year 2020 are likely to decline as compared to the year 2019 and 20 levels. Okay, so primarily due to the reduction of installation in China. So that is why it is affecting the offshore installation of the year 2022. Now the market growth is expected to regain momentum by the year 2023, eventually passing the 30 gigawatt mark by the year 2026, right? I hope this is clear to you. Now next, the new installations of 93.6 gigawatt in the year 2021 brought global cumulative wind energy capacity to 837 gigawatt, a year-on-year growth of 12%, right? And more than 3 times the capacity of offshore wind compared to 2020 was installed. So that is one dimension to this particular thing. Now you need to understand that offshore wind energy generation increases return on investment along with reducing greenhouse gas emission, and that is why it is most preferred, okay? Because it is assisting to tackle the environmental concerns also, it reduces the greenhouse gas emission at the same time, and what could be better than that in a way, right? The carbon emission can be reduced by 0.3 to 1.61 gigatons every year by 2050 if offshore wind energy generation is scaled up. So that is one additional advantage, right? So greenhouse gas emission is reduced, also the carbon dioxide emission is reduced to a good significant level, right? I hope this is clear to you. So if we see that, who publishes the global wind report, right? So that was not just the concern, we also discussed another dimensions of this particular topic. So the Global Wind Energy Council publishes the global wind report, which is published already for this year, right? Like we saw, report 2022 was published by Global Wind Energy Council, right? So A is the right answer here. Yeah. Next, we take a look on question number 9 here. Question number 9 says that recently seen a new Cape Town Convention is related to what? Whether it's related to aircraft equipments, CO2 reduction in response to climate change, or solid waste management, or curtailment of piracy. Let us understand the context of this particular question firstly. So recently what has happened that the Ministry of Civil Aviation has proposed a draft law to enable aircraft lessors to repossess aircraft during a dispute. Okay, so that is being done by the Ministry of Civil Aviation. Now, further, if we check, what is it exactly? So, the Convention on International Interest in Mobile Equipments and the Protocol on Matters Specific to Aircraft Equipment, okay, came into effect on November 16, 2001 at a diplomatic conference in Cape Town in South Africa. Now, if we take a look at the members, we see that initially it was adopted by 20 states. The number has since grown to 83 and includes both developed as well as the developing economies, okay? Now, if we understand the aim, so we see that it actually aims to make available a competitive credit facility by providing readily enforceable rights, okay, in mobile equipment such as the aircraft objects in the hands of the creditors. So, that is the aim of this particular convention, right? So, of course, like we saw, it's relating to what? It's relating to the aircraft equipments. I hope this is clear to you, right? You can read more about it. You can read more about this Cape Town Convention also. So, now we'll proceed to question number 10. Question number 10 here says that which of the following committees are associated with poverty estimation in India? Which is it YK Alag or DT Lakhdawala, Suresh Tendulkar, C Rangarajan, KV Kamath? So we need to understand which of them are associated with poverty estimation, right? We need to select the correct answer using the codes given below. Firstly, let us understand the context of this question, which is quite positive, okay? So recently what has happened that according to the World Bank working paper, okay, extreme poverty in India dropped to 10.2% in the pre-COVID year of 2019 from as much as 22.5% in the year 2011. So that's a good thing. Now there are 6 official committees who have so far estimated the number of people living in poverty in India, okay? And the working group of 1962 is one committee, V.N. Dandekar and N. Rath in 1971, Y.K. Alag is there. So this is in the question mentioned. D.T. Lakhdawala in 1993, this is also mentioned. Suresh Tendulkar in 2009, this is also mentioned. C. Rangarajan, this is also mentioned. Okay, so all these committees are involved. Okay. And then the government did not take a call on the report of the Rangarajan committee. Therefore, poverty is measured using the Tendulkar poverty line, okay. Please make a note of this, that poverty is measured using the Tendulkar poverty line because the government did not approve, okay, the report of Rangarajan committee. This is a takeaway of this particular discussion, right? So, K. Alag committee is there, Lakdawala is there, Suresh Tendulkar committee is there, and C. Rangarajan is there. So, I think this is a very easy question now. K. Alag is there, Lakdawala is there, Suresh Tendulkar is there, C. Rangarajan is there, K.V. Kamath is not there, okay. So, only 1, 2, 3 and 4. Fifth is not there. So, the option has 1, 2, 3 and 4. D is the correct answer here. Alright. Yeah, so that's all from my end for today's discussion of the questions of the week. I hope you guys are doing great and you guys had a good time learning and taking away certain important things from today's discussion. But before leaving, I'll drop a question for you guys. You guys have to figure out the right answer and go to the comment section and post the correct option, right? So, of course, this is coming from an article that was recently in the news from the Hindu newspaper. So, if you take a look at the question, it says that with reference to Criminal Procedure Identification Bill 2022, consider the following statements. Statement number 1 says that it allows details of arrested persons as well as persons detained under a preventive detention law to be taken. Second says that it enables both the central government and state government to make rules. And you need to figure out that which of the given statement is correct. Whether second is correct, first is correct, both are correct or none are correct. Okay, so you need to figure out the right answer and go to the comment section and post the correct answer. And before leaving, like I always say, let's know together, let's grow together, let's learn together and let's crack together. This is me, Twinkle, signing off. I'll be back again super soon with some more important questions of the week. Till then, you guys stay tuned. Thank you so much.